welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's lesson is on IELTS Listening Practice Test on Sentence Completion. Let's dive into the lesson right away. Now, there are various question types that you can find in IELTS Listening Test. And 10 of them are listed here. But for the purpose of today's lesson, we are going to look at sentence completion. We want to look at how to answer questions on sentence completion in the IELTS Listening Test. Now, you can see that this is exactly what the sentence completion question looks like in the IELTS Listening Test. Here you find section 3, questions 27 to 30, and you are asked to complete the sentences below. Now take particular note of the instruction here. Write no more than 2 words for each answer. So you are not going to write 3 words or 4 words. You are not going to write anything more. You are asked not to write no more than 2 words. If you write more than 2 words, your answer will be marked incorrect, even if the information is accurate, all right? Now, before you start listening to the speaker in the audio recording, you are usually given a little time to look at the questions. So with the questions right in front of you, just as we have it on our screen right now, your duty is to look through the questions and find the context clues that will enable you to predict what is going to come in the audio recording and what exact information you are going to listen for. For example, studying with the Open University demanded a great deal of dash. So you are going to register this in your mind. You are going to listen for this. Studying and working at the same time improve Rachel's dash skills. Which of Rachel's skills were improved by studying and working at the same time? All right. So take note of these specific pieces of information. And as you listen to the audio, you will also be looking directly at your questions. And once you hear the specific piece of information that gives you answer to a particular question, you write it right inside your answer sheet. Now, that is the procedure because you will be given extra time to transfer your answers from your question booklet to the answer booklet. All right? So this is the way it is. And right now, I'm going to take you to the audio. As we listen to the audio, you will find that the speaker will, disclose information that will give you answer to each of these questions. Rest assured that all the answers to these questions right in front of you are contained in the audio recording. They are not outside. They are definitely within the audio recording. And that is why your listening ability is what is being tested. If you can listen carefully, attentively to the audio, and you follow the context clues on your question paper, you will get the answers correctly. So at this juncture, let's go right into the audio recording.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the Open University?
You mean because you're studying on your own most of the time? It took me a while to get used to it. I found I needed to maintain a high level of motivation because it's so different from school. There's no one saying, "Why haven't you written your assignment yet?" and that sort of thing.
Oh, dear.
You'll learn it, Paul. Another thing was that I got very good at time management because I had to fit time for studying around a full-time job.
Well, I'm hoping to change to working part-time, so that'll help.
What makes it easier is that the degree is made up of modules, so you can take time. A 3 or 4 year course where you've got to do the whole thing of it in one go.
That's good, because I'd like to spend 6 months traveling next year.
It's all right for some. Then, even though you're mostly studying at home, remember you've got tutors to help you. And from time to time, there are summer schools. They usually last a week. They're great because you meet all the other people struggling with the same things as you.
Oh,
I've made some really good friends that way.
sounds good. So how do I?
So you have listened to the audio and you will agree with me that the answers actually were disclosed by the speaker in the speakers in the audio, especially, the person who was actually responding to the questions. All right. And that is Rachel. Okay. So the answers came up. Now, to give you a clearer view of this, let's look at the transcript. Okay. So here you see the transcript for IELTS listening recording, the one we just listened to. Two friends, Rachel and Paul, are discussing studying with the Open University. Rachel has already done a course at the university, but Paul has not. The extract relating to these questions comes from the last part of the recording. Now let's look at the transcript of what we listened to. Now, Paul, the other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the Open University? Rachel answered, you mean because you are studying on your own most of the time? Paul said, yes. Rachel then responded, well, it took me a while to get used to it. I found I needed to maintain a high level of motivation because it's so difficult from school. There's no one saying, why haven't you written your assignment yet? And that sort of thing. So you can see it requires a high level of motivation. Then Paul says, oh dear. And Rachel continues, you will learn it, Paul. Another thing was that I got very good at time management because I had to fit time for studying around a full-time job, all right? Paul said, well, I'm hoping to change to working part-time, so that will help. Rachel, what makes it easier is that the degree is made up of modules. So you can see this is another answer. So you can take time off between them if you need to. It isn't like a traditional 3 or 4 year course where you've got to do the whole thing of it in one go. Then Paul said, that's good because I'd like to spend 6 months traveling next year. And Rachel said, oh, it's all right for some. Then even though you are mostly studying at home, remember you've got tutors to help you. And from time to time, there are summer schools. They usually last a week. They are great because you meet all the other people struggling with the same things as you. I've made some really good friends that way, okay? Then Paul says, sounds good. So how do I apply? Now, that's the transcript. And then let's look at the answer. So you can see, the first answer to the first question is motivation, then time management, modules, summer schools, all right? So all these featured in the conversation, and then, of course, these are answers. So studying with the Open University demanded a great deal of motivation. We had it. And studying and working at the same time improved Rachel's time management, all right? It was helpful that the course was structured in modules. She enjoyed meeting other students at the summer schools, all right? So you can see That's exactly the way it is. So you can see all this. Now, what I want you to really take home is for you to reassure yourself that this is really a very simple test. All you need to do is to discover the tricks, and it is the tricks that we are actually discussing. Once you understand and master the simple procedure to follow, then the whole process will be as easy as ABC. Now, this is where we draw the curtain in today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the class. I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Goodbye for now.